All right, so this is video 2 in my little assessment for my 14-day series to try and find ways to get my foundations going and set up for success to take my part-time business to the full-time status. I do have my 3D printer running in the background, of course. I always seem to have it running, and I never find a good time to record because of it, so forgive the noise. Today we're going to go over the business and basically do a business assessment. I'm not going to go and give like exact numbers, but I can give an overview just for like protecting the business. It's kind of more private information. I'm not like a super like earner or anything with the business, of course, but I do want to keep some things transparent. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go over the the earnings. Where's the money coming from for the business? And I do have a few avenues of revenue. I do have an actual YouTube channel. It's more focused on the art and creation of the products. I have an Etsy shop. I have conventions that I do, which the last year and a half I haven't been able to do, just like circumstances. There's something else. Crowdfunding. And that's basically my 4 earners for the business. Now, neither of these are super like, wow, I'm making thousands of dollars or anything like that. Like, I would say currently, Etsy and YouTube are the biggest earners for me. It's not like a lot of money. It's just that's what's consistently bringing in cash flow, and it's enough to keep the business going in terms of covering expenses. And we also have to go over yearly expenses for the business, which that I can definitely share a rough estimate. I've already done that. I already have spreadsheets and stuff that I've been monitoring over the years to kind of see an average of what I'm spending and things like shipping supplies, website fees, software, and any other miscellaneous expenses that comes up. Conventions and crowdfunding, I would say, are a secondary source because they are not consistently running. I'm not at a convention every day. I'm not crowdfunding every day. These are things that are maybe a couple times a year. Crowdfunding, especially, I actually put on pause to build up a larger product campaign recently, and printer is done. All right. So that is finally back on track to where it is, and I should be able to do about 1 or 2 crowdfunding campaigns a year going forward from this point on. So I already have financial goals for some of these as well, but conventions, I do not have a consistent financial goal because I'm still pretty new. My profit that I consider from a convention is if I make the table back. It does not actually cover all the merchandise fees, any printed material I need, travel costs. That's kind of like my starting point. Did I make table back? If so, that means the next time I do this, I can actually now add in travel expenses and see how much I can get back and recover from the convention earnings. So now that I have my 4 methods of income and I've identified the main 2, I kind of want to start going, what should I push my focus on? And right now, my focus should actually be on the Etsy and the YouTube. Conventions and crowdfunding, once I do them, I should kind of have those float into these. And what I mean by that is I can leverage these things happening by putting them on YouTube and Etsy. So crowdfunding, I can take all my product that I have left over and put that on Etsy to earn from. And the conventions I can make videos out of and show how that's going. And I did that on my art channel. They're not like super popular for me simply because I'm busy selling, so I don't like take the time to record. But that's something that I could add as extra content to make more money on YouTube. So I'm kind of like leveraging these existing to make more money on these 2 main sources of income. So that's good to know, right? And I need to make sure that going forward, that is actually what I'm doing and not just thinking about it. And that's going to be something we plan out late in this 14 video series. Now, when it comes to expenses, I'm just going to put expenses here. we have merch, and this is like if I'm ordering keychains, if I'm ordering prints, if I'm ordering sticker sheets, or anything else that I can't make and I have to order it, I have to keep in mind how much I'm spending. Generally, what I've spent is around 500. That's like the lower end. I have, that's a year. So I'm just gonna actually put that down there, a year. And then everything else, I'm gonna put that here. This is gonna include like fees, website, software. I'm just gonna say a good 1,000. So it's about 1,500 a year that I'm spending on things to keep the business going, basically. And that's not a bad thing. The way I have kind of started noticing, whatever you earn in your business, half of that's going to go back into fees, extra product, all that stuff. It's going back to pay for that. And then anything left over is it's just like a rough thing. Everything left over is your profit. You can either go back to take and invest back in the business for new supplies, machinery, whatever, and then what's left over you can actually pay yourself from. That's kind of how I view it, just like a quick overview. So knowing that whatever I earn a year in the business, if it grows, so let's say we're just going to take our 50 here. If I theoretically were to earn 100K in the business, this is not what I'm making, by the way, not even close. This is just like long term, right? I would need 50K set aside for expenses, and that includes all of this stuff here. That sounds like a lot, but that's what it takes to kind of keep it running. Now, I'm also going to keep in mind that some of these expenses and some of these earnings do not require me to spend anything. YouTube does not require me to spend anything to get money back. At worst, it's me buying a microphone, a better camera, or things like that, or software to do the editing or something, or sound effects or music. That's pretty, but I don't do that right now, and I don't plan to do that anytime soon. So my expenses could actually be lower if I were to theoretically earn that much. Etsy is where most of my money is going to be spent in terms of fees and shipping and ads and all that other stuff if I do ads, but also the supplies to make the product, to package the product, to put the business cards in there, to thank you notes, all this stuff. Conventions, it's going to be travel costs, and any table display material. Crowdfunding, it's going to be the same as Etsy, shipping, advertising, all that good stuff. So I have an overview and general idea now of the business assessment of what my income sources are, how I can leverage the minor ones to go into the bigger ones, and what I theoretically would need to keep the business operational before I even think about paying myself. I generally right now have a 20% earnings a month. So 20% of my business income is what I pay myself. So if I earn $10, I pay myself too. It's not a lot, but it's something. And obviously, as that income grows, that's how much I do it. So theoretically, if I were to earn 100K a year, 20% of that, let me do the math real quick. This would be about 20 in earnings if I were to continue paying myself 20%. Pay self. And that's not really a lot, and it's not anywhere near this goal. Or this amount that I would need for living expenses. But that's okay, because that is still pretty good, in my opinion. And obviously things can be adjusted, depending on what's happening with the business. But that's kind of just a rough assessment of all that. Currently, the business is slow. It is a slow period and a slow year for me. So kind of seeing this is kind of helping me think of new ideas to increase that income and revenue for the business. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you want to, I would go back and rewatch and kind of see where your business is. What are your streams of income? how much are you actually spending a year? Do you have a spreadsheet for that? If not, you really should. I can actually link down below a spreadsheet that I use to kind of keep track of this. Many people, especially artists, may have heard it's called Paper and Spark. It is an affiliate link in the description below, but I always recommend it, and it's the best thing I've ever invested for in my business. It's worth every penny. And that can kind of give you an idea of how to keep track of your earnings and expenses and stuff. And it's great for tax time too. All right, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have gone over your business and given it an assessment yourself, let me know how it's looking. What are some things you've noticed? Like, how can you leverage things you're doing into other streams of income and kind of grow that? All right, I will see you in the next video.